One, two, three. Welcome back to Crash and Eddie. This is Eddie, and we are so fortunate and blessed to have Crash with us again.
Welcome, everybody. This is Crash. And thank you, Eddie, for allowing me to be on your show again, even though it's Crash and Eddie's.
Even though Crash's name is first.
Hey, can I tell you something, Eddie?
Sure. Can I stop you?
If you want, but I am so excited about this show.
Really?
There's so much going on in the crypto world, in the financial world. Yesterday we hit an all-time high for Bitcoin on a monthly basis. Um, ETH 2.0, I think, comes out today.
That's
Uh,
right. I forgot about that.
yeah, yeah. There's a lot of. I was reading some news on altcoin cycles and how the last month of each quarter, over the last 4 quarters, altcoins have exploded.
Really? That I
Yep,
didn't know.
yep, yep. And there's actually a new crypto bonds out there. There's a lot of neat things going on. Everything's moving so fast. It's like hard to keep up. We could do a 2 hour show easy.
I know. And it's amazing, isn't it, how just in a few days, it's like you miss so much by not just doing a show every day. So we'll see.
Yeah, if we get enough likes and people start subscribing, we'll start doing it every day. It's there's nothing better to cement what we're learning than by teaching other people, and that's what I've always been taught, and I think you probably have been too.
Absolutely. And so, on that note, this is not financial advice. These are opinions only and for educational and information purposes only.
Amen.
So, yeah, there is just a ton going on today. And interesting, interesting back and forth I want to mention from a banker friend of mine because we happen to be affiliated with one of the top five banks. And I reached out to him. He's a wealth manager, back in our world, right? Back in the day.
Yep. Yeah. If people don't know, we're both former licensed financial advisors.
Yeah. So anyways, I'm like, hey Kevin, you guys doing anything with crypto yet? And he's like, hi, our asset manager group is pretty conservative. Although I know crypto is on their radar, I do not anticipate them adding it as an asset class anytime soon.
Hmm.
Oh, you're going to
Oh,
add it sooner than you think, Kevin.
yeah. The banks are just like they don't want to have anything to do with this. That's funny you brought that up. I was talking to a woman who's she works for a banking software company,
Oh, yeah?
and she asked me what I did, and I said I'm a crypto advisor, and she thought I was like into like Bigfoot or something, like some kind of crypto zoology. She didn't
You're
even know what
kidding.
she didn't even know what I meant when I said crypto.
I'm telling you.
It was amazing. And then she said, "Oh," and then she figured out. I said, working with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, that just seems very strange and unsafe to me."
Oh, it's so risky. It's where all the risk is.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah,
gotta you gotta be in the U.S. dollar, the safety
yeah,
asset.
yeah. So I was polite with her, and I didn't tell her what I really thought.
Isn't it amazing though how early we are? We're still so early.
Yeah.
It's stunning, but I see now it's gonna be over the coming years. If you're into crypto now, you didn't miss the boat, man. I mean, you're way early. You're an early adopter for sure.
Hmm.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the people who are familiar and able to actually use cryptos in their business and on a personal level are going to just be light years ahead of everybody else. Um,
Yeah.
they're just going to be able to see and take advantage of opportunities that are going to be blind to 99% of the population.
Yeah, for sure. So, just for the audience, this show might be a little hiccupy. We got some tech issues going on today. So, if it is, you're going to bear with us and see what you think of it. Let us know if it's just obscenely bad, but we're going to try and roll with it just because there's so much information to cover.
Yeah, yeah, and it's I think a lot of this has to do with it being yesterday Cyber Monday and today Tuesday. I think the internet is being taxed at a very high rate right now.
Yep. Yeah, it's never been as much. So it is heavy traffic, and everyone's streaming with, work, stay at home and work and all that stuff. So it's
Hmm.
heavy stuff on the internet.
Yeah,
So Bitcoin record yesterday. Is that what you're saying?
yeah. The it ended the day at its highest point ever on a monthly basis. Um, back in 2017, 18, when it reached a peak that was just about the same, but it wasn't the end of the month. So it was kind of in the middle of the month, and it didn't fill a full candlestick as far on the charts. So we're into new territory. The this bull market. Oh, geez, I mean, just the news coming out. The like, is it Guggenheim?
Yes, I wanted to hit on that. Good call. Yeah,
Yeah, $500 million. They want to put 10% of their portfolio in with um, uh, Grayscale,
grayscale. Right.
their Bitcoin trust.
Now, are
So
they? It's 500 million investment. Are they buying like a 10% of the grayscale trust? That's kind of how I understood it.
I think $500 million is 10% of their fund.
Okay.
Uh, I could be wrong with that, but that when I glanced at it a little while ago, that was
Yeah.
how I understood it.
That's big though. And that just speaks to how people are, because really, you'd be way better off, like some have done, where you just buy Bitcoin outright. But just to not custody it, they're willing to take that, shave off, some of that extra Bitcoin and go into a trust. And that just avoids now Grayscale's in charge of custodying it. But it's not straight up Bitcoin.
Yeah, yeah, and I think this whole custody thing, from what I was reading and some of the videos I watched today and yesterday, the biggest thing that kind of scares me is how they're talking about getting rid of cold storage.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
But
Um,
I don't know. That just puts it all back into the control of the central bankers and the financial industry. I think there's going to be big pushback worldwide on that.
I don't buy
Um,
it. I
I
don't
think it's
buy
going to
that they're
open
going to
up.
do it.
Yeah, I think it's going to open up a whole new industry of um, cryptocurrencies that are going to be, just anti central banking.
Yeah, and I just don't think they can really do it. I think there's too much money put into cold storage. And if you look at banking the unbanked, I mean, there goes that out the window. There's 2.5 billion you're not bringing in because they're not opening up brokerage accounts.
Yeah.
They're basically forcing a brokerage account with. It's like saying basically, well, you can't have cash in your wallet either. You can't have cash in your wallet.
Well, and I think that's probably the end game for some of these people is complete control of all monetary systems, and
Right.
it's
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see
yeah,
the pushback
yeah.
with
If we
that.
allow them to do that, that's our own fault.
Right. Yeah, so and then the other thing is we got December 3rd coming up. There's a lot of whispers that, there's this regulation bomb is going to be dropped, and maybe that part of that is this crypto wallet stuff.
Mm-hmm.
supposedly this week on December 3rd.
Yeah, it may actually be on the fourth on that during that dropping it is maybe part of that IMF uh, event as well.
I don't know if that's correlated or not, but we should have a show immediately after that
Yeah,
and talk about the
that
regs and
starts at 10:30 Eastern time, which is 9:30 a.m. on Friday for us. So then it's over at it should be over around 11 o'clock our time. So sometime probably we should target 11:30 or so to um, do our podcast on
yeah, we'll
Friday.
have a show at some point right after that and talk about.
Hmm.
Well, later on in the week we'll have it. If big regs drop, we'll talk about that. And then they got this. So yeah, this IMF is interesting. Okay, there's first of all there's a video for there's a video that Digital Asset Investor did. We'll put a link below for that, and he hits on this rising phoenix from the IMF,
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
this
there's a lot of symbolism in that in that phoenix
yeah
they have there. It's unbelievable. I was looking at it a little bit closer. The whole phoenix comes out of a broken virus. It looks
right.
like when I first looked at it, it looked like an egg or something like that. But I zoomed in on it. It's
It's
actually a
Corona.
virus that the phoenix is launching out of, and
Yeah, so
then
that
then it's
makes
loaded with
sense.
financial uh, charts, and it looks like DNA and uh, definitely digital, zeros and ones, like the Matrix.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, and yeah,
it's
and
loaded with symbolism.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's fascinating stuff. And you know what's interesting? Because I heard this about, the NWO and all this stuff. I mean, it's conspiracy stuff, but I've heard that one of their rules, supposedly the elite's rules, is they have to show stuff in plain sight. And if you
Hmm.
pay attention, they do
Yeah,
every
in the
time.
movies, I see it all over in the movies.
Yeah. And look at what they've done with crypto. If they're linked in with crypto, which it very much seems they are, they've given
Hmm.
everyone ample opportunity to get in at dirt cheap. Here it is for everything's pennies. You
Yep.
know? I mean, it's amazing. And but still, like you talking to that lady, and I hear it all the time. What? You're nuts. No way. Well, she had her chance.
Hmm.
Okay, stay in fiat if that's what you want to
Yep.
do. Good luck.
Yep. Yeah,
Uh,
a lot of people I know who are longtime stock and bond investors. A lot of them they're in the fall of their years, and it's they don't want to learn something new. They're
right.
comfortable with what they own, and it'll probably be okay for them. Um, but when there's a reset, there's going to be a pretty large percentage of value that every dollar is going to lose. And
Yeah,
I
it's
wouldn't be surprised that this reset doesn't wipe out 40 to 60% of people's portfolios in its actual buying power. The
yeah,
numbers might be the same, but the buying power is going to be gone.
man, there's so much we could get into. We have so much to talk about, but we gotta, because I want to talk about gold with you guys, with our audience and
Hmm.
you, and inflation versus deflation and the dollar. There's just so many deep things that we gotta get
Yeah.
into, but let's keep this rolling here. So we got the IMF thing. Another thing we had is uh, so this is
There's the Phoenix.
right, right. So another thing we had was yeah, and we'll check into the IMF stuff, and we'll let you guys know how that goes and what comes of that. But I kind of after looking into it, I do want to listen to that. It's kind of interesting.
Hmm.
See what they're gonna try and See what the unelected officials from another country are going to cram down the Americans' throat.
Well, and just the title of the lecture is just fascinating.
Right.
Remaking the post-COVID world.
You
I
know, and
mean,
they've telegraphed all the reset and stuff. It's like, so we're supposed to believe that the reset has nothing to do with COVID-19 or the
yeah.
C19er,
Hmm.
and it was all coincidence.
It's C 1984, isn't it?
C1984.
Yeah.
The Rona, otherwise known as the Rona. Oh, hopefully now our video is probably going to get dropped. We're not going to get it out because we mentioned that.
Nah,
We'll see. But
nah.
this will be a good test. Okay, so the other thing is the hot video going around is this new YouTuber called The Accountant. So,
Yeah.
did you hear about this or get a chance
I
to?
I watched about a third of it,
Okay.
and
So,
it was fascinating and you know rather frightening as far as how it can affect some cryptocurrencies.
yeah,
Um,
he's interesting. I thought he lost a little credibility because one thing he said is XRP is going to literally take all the market cap.
mm,
There's no way. That's not happening. There's no. I mean, I think there's going to be a bloodletting where you get rid of a lot of smaller cryptos that are just basically they don't have a use case, you know.
yeah.
But that they're gonna that XRP's taking all the market cap, I don't buy that at all, and I don't buy that Bitcoin's really going anywhere. I mean, I think they might box it in, you know, with
Yeah.
futures and stuff. I don't know about the high. I mean, I don't know, but it's not going. I don't think it's going to be outlawed.
No,
You know, I don't think it's going to
no.
be
Too many.
banned.
No, not now. There's too much money going into it. It's
Right.
um,
You
you
have
know,
futures on it. They have regulated futures on this thing. There's no way that they're doing that. They can box in the price like they do gold.
mm-hmm.
But this
I'm
guy
waiting.
actually says it's
Yeah.
going to be gotten rid of. It's going to be like banned. So I don't. He loses some credibility with that. And then the other thing he says is the hard wallets thing is going to be. They're getting rid of those, and he says you can tell by looking at the Ledger site because they had that 40% off sale.
Uh-huh.
They've done that. They've had 2-for-1s. They do that.
Yeah.
It's not because they're just getting rid of all these hard wallets. I don't. So to me, I don't know. We're gonna link the video. You can see for yourselves, but I don't know about that one.
Yeah. Yeah. You
And
know,
then
if I see the I guess one thing that came to mind when you were talking about him mentioning that Bitcoin is going to go away or whatever. Um, Iran started purchasing Bitcoin in their treasury. Now, I've been waiting and looking for other news on other countries starting to announce the same thing. Have you seen any of that?
I remember seeing the Iran thing. No, I know. You know what was really interesting is what's going down in Venezuela.
Yep, that was
Did you
something
hear
else.
about that? And basically, they've turned to Bitcoin. They had a while ago. In
Mm-hmm.
some respects, you know, the people, and they've been buying it off that one app. What is it called? Local Bitcoins or something like that.
Yeah. Is that
Um,
yeah, and I think Ren is also popular down there.
oh, is it? Okay, I think Dash. I mean, they're turning to crypto because their currency is garbage, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we go down there. I heard that we went down there a couple weeks ago, and we're basically trying to get them onto the USDC system, the USD coin, you know, the USDC.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, no, 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 don't go to crypto, go to the US dollar, stay with
Yeah.
that.
That US dollar coin is frightening. There's no way of auditing doing an audit on it.
Well, I think that one is odd. It's Tether that there's not.
I don't think I don't think so. I was listening to somebody the other day and they were talking about that coin.
See,
Um,
I heard that it's 1-for-1 to the dollar. just like the Libra is going to be. So that's the audit. I mean, it's literally one for one, and that's what the U.S. wants. We want one for one, but they can print it like easier than anything, right?
Well, I mean, if the US dollar coin is not audited, it's no different than the currency we use now.
That's right. It's not. No, and anything that's pegged to the dollar, I mean, it's what it is. So that's an interesting question too. Is it audited? Because I heard that, you know, Brian
Or is it
Brooks was in on.
auditable? I mean, is it even, or is there a mechanism to even be able to audit it? I
Yeah,
mean, it runs on a blockchain, right? So it
right.
should be able to, but I don't think it's a public blockchain.
Um, that's interesting. We'll have to look into that, but it's pretty legit. I mean, I know that Circle built that along with Brian Brooks, and so my understanding is that it's legit. But I mean, so what? It's the dollar, and you can print the shizzle out of it constantly, and that's what they're gonna do, you know.
Yeah,
But it's just
yeah.
interesting. We go down there and we're like, "Hey, get on the USDC system," and of course, we want everyone on the dollar. You know, don't give up the U.S. dollar as reserve currency. You know, so
Yeah, I don't know how that would affect us as a people.
the dollar getting out of the reserve,
Yeah, being the
it's just gonna shrink the middle class. I mean, that's happening either way. I mean, it's
hmm
the reserve currency situation is underway. It's been happening for over a decade. I think
yeah,
it's speeding up now though, and it's just gonna shrink our middle class. There's gonna be two classes. You know.
yeah. Well, that's what socialism does.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then the last video, just to bring to your guys' attention, was the Pomp versus Brad Garlinghouse, which was an interesting. Do you follow Pompliano at all,
I, I
Crash?
don't know,
He's
but I know,
he.
obviously I know Brad, but or yeah, know of him, but
No, you know him personally. I know. Yeah, you guys are tight.
yeah, we are.
Pomp, when you look into him, he's the ultimate Bitcoin maxi. Like
Yeah,
he's all about only Bitcoin.
yeah.
So fascinating podcast with him and Garlinghouse, and just one of the moments, and it's been going around. Maybe you guys heard of it or not, but was when he asked flat out. Garlinghouse said, "Do you think China can control Bitcoin in any way?" And Pomp just looked him, and he did quick glance away because he's lying through his teeth, and he said flat out no. Well, now that makes sense. Even though they control over half the hash rate over there,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
yeah. That's there's there's so many things in play. It's it is absolutely a web of information and to get a grip on all this stuff, boy, you really need to have some inside information. But
Yep. And we're gonna get it if we can get it right.
yeah, we're going to get it all shoveled right down our throat here maybe this week.
Exactly. We're 2 days away from having it shovel. We gotta eat it up like baby birds, man. Just gobble it
Uh-huh.
down. Give us more.
Yeah. The thing is, with all this centralized stuff, is that the whole crypto industry, there's so many brilliant people. I just don't think that the centralized governments can keep up with the advancements in technology and the way that people can innovate in this environment. Um,
So
they're
true.
just now trying to catch up, and it's been going on for 4 years, right?
Right.
4 or 5 years.
And it's why they don't want to do the regulations. They've hemmed and hawed
Mm-hmm.
But there's no choice. Ultimately, you will put down regulations or you will be left behind.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple, and it's a global asset. You know, it's
Yeah.
really
I pray that the Trump team has a whole nother um 3D chess game going on with this IMF and the central banking system taking over the cryptocurrency world. That is not
man.
good for the United States.
It just scares the bejeebas out of
It
me
is.
if Biden gets in there. It's like, and of course with the mainstream media, it's a done deal. I mean, he's in, so. But they're just like immediately get us back in that Paris Accord. We're immediately in it. It's such a good deal, and they're just gonna cater to everyone but the U.S.
Yeah, they're just going to suck the wealth right out of us like they do any other wealthy nation.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah,
But life is life. This is it's gonna these things are gonna happen, and it's just a matter of whether we're going to stand up as a people and allow it.
right.
We got to stand on the Constitution, which is we the people, and we have not done that for decades.
Good
And
point.
that's gonna that's critical.
Good point. Yep. Yeah. So, man, are we gonna get into election talk?
No,
Yeah, we better
I'd
not.
rather not.
We better not. You're such a.
I honestly, I avoid it as much as possible. But
I do too, but I've never been so fascinated about just the times that we're in and how it weaves into this new quote unquote financial reset. And it's fascinating. We're totally being
yeah,
controlled. We're trying to be controlled. Are we going to let these
and
powers overseas that are unelected, are we going to let them dictate to us what we can do?
there's a lot of people that are hook, line, and sinker all on board with it. They just have no idea what they're signing up for, or just don't care.
Right.
Uh, but there's a lot of patriots out here, and they're going to they're going to stand tall. There's a lot of things going on. I know of. I don't watch the mainstream media because it's I don't believe a word they say.
It's a
But
facade. You pretty much have to go the opposite of what they're saying. They don't
yeah,
cover anything that's going on.
no, no. So I get my information from other sources, and
Yeah, I only
there's a
watch it
lot
though.
there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we're not aware of.
Right. I've never watched mainstream media as much because I insist right now on just seeing how are they going to lie to us. And it's just stunning. It is
Hmm.
absolutely stunning how they lie through omission and they just will
Hmm.
not tell the American people. And people are walking around, if you don't get your media from other sources, they're walking around thinking things that just are not true.
Yep.
So it's stunning, man. But
True. I've said this before. Truth is much stranger than fiction.
yeah, yeah. So, well, it's just, one thing that just hit me over the head today is that you showed up for a second show in a row. This is nuts. I mean, that's truth. I
Well,
can't deny it.
I've been I've been blessed with some knowledge that I need to share, and I'm going to be doing that. I'd like, if you'll allow me, Eddie, I'll come back again
Crash.
and again
There's.
and again.
I don't believe that you'll do a third one, or I'm just going on a limb. I don't buy it, but we'll see.
Well, yeah,
Time will
it's
tell.
you never know.
Now that the IMF is involved, I know you're all over it. So I think that's it for this show. What do you think?
Well,
You got more stuff to
oh,
shower
no,
on
just
us?
the other thing is, if you look at the charts and the altcoin cycle, right now is a good time to be buying these good quality altcoins. I think they're really gonna take off before the end of the year. I think that's gonna drive the entire market up. I think it's there's been a quarterly altcoin season every quarter for the last 6 quarters. and it's always in the last month of the quarter. Why that is, I'm not sure exactly, but
I
I,
know that this is in the past it has been altcoin season. I hope we get away from that though, because once your market's developed, I get it, we're an early market, but when you have one asset that takes up 60% of a market, you know that that's early, right?
mm-hmm.
And to me, being in the tech space, technology always gets replaced. It's like saying these Bitcoiners, it's like saying basically AOL is still going to dominate search,
Yeah,
right? It's just, there's no way. There's better tech. Not that, to this day, I deal with people like our friend Tom that has an AOL address, and AOL's still around, you
yeah,
know? So's Netscape, so's Yahoo. You know, you look at the
hmm,
search space and it's evolved, but
yeah,
technology, it's going to be replaced, and there is better tech for moving money around than Bitcoin. So I think
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see where it goes, but
yeah. I think Bitcoin's going to fall into that store of value category.
yeah, digital gold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, and it is when you look at the players that have to move a ton of money, like these funds,
mm-hmm.
it's a thing of beauty.
Well, and I use Bitcoin as to transfer assets. I have clients that I work with. I just had someone this morning that bought some Bitcoin on one platform and moved it to another. Um, so it's being used quite a bit for just daily transactions.
Good to hear that you have someone buying it at in the 18s.
Well, they were buying it to put it into an altcoin.
Well, and that's got to change too, where you have to go through Bitcoin. But all these things are basically attributes of a very early new asset class.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
it. To me, it's just totally telling, and I love seeing Bitcoin just hovering around in the 18s, 19s, not going anywhere, just hanging. Every day that you print there is just you're forming that base, that
Right.
high value base, and that is different
Right.
from the last run, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that last run, they just touched it and get out of here, everyone sell. Run for your life. It's a
Yeah.
digital asset.
Yeah. So my favorite altcoin right now that I'm moving assets into is Chainlink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like Chainlink. One guy turned me off of that because he
Yeah,
told.
there's some bad news out there. Some people talking about other technology that's a lot better, but you know what? They are a marketing machine, and they're closing new contracts and new partnerships left and right around the world.
Yeah, huh? That's a. I mean, what is that? Top five, top six,
It's number
number
seven.
seven.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a.
I wasn't even around. I don't know. Look at the chart. When did chain links only? I don't even think it's been around 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, it's not. It hasn't been around that long. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a. It's interesting too, because if you remember back in the day, man, these altcoins moved like right with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Now you see a lot more jockeying for position based on use case.
Yep.
They're not all used as much. Now, Chainlink is one of those that is actually used.
Yeah, and I think that's something we should add to our next broadcast. Is in every podcast is just you can see how old I am. I said broadcast. Um,
He's in network media.
um, is doing a use case and value proposition for some of these altcoins, so people can dig in a little deeper and understand what their purpose is.
Yep. Good and bad, yeah.
So
Yeah, we'll have to do that. We did talk about that, and we're gonna in future episodes we're gonna tackle some coins specifically and kind of help you guys understand what they're about, because it's all about use case. It's really all these coins are about use case, team, and how many coins there are, tokenomics, right?
hmm yep,
And if those are all dialed in, you're gonna make a lot of money on them. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, we'll definitely hit that. We'll have to decide which ones we're gonna tackle. We'll work our way down, right?
Yeah, so if you're in the audience and there's some altcoins that you'd like to have us review, please let us know.
Yep. Smash the likes and subscribes, or just gently tap them is good too. And
Yeah, if you like what we're doing, please share our videos and hit the subscribe and the like and the bell so you get notified. You won't get notified, and we're going to do a lot of timely um, information. So you're going to want to be notified when we put out um, our podcast.
yep. And we do have affiliate links below. Use those. That's a way you can help support the channel.
hmm
We have one for CRO token and one for Ledger Wallet. So we might have a few more as we move along, but that helps support our channel. So definitely use those if you feel the need. So I guess we'll wrap it up for today. We will see you guys shortly after December 3rd and maybe the IMF stuff, and we'll talk about we'll probably talk about regulations or the lack thereof. Maybe this thing's a big hoax and nothing's going to happen on the 3rd and 4th. We'll see.
hmm
We'll see what our inside info is giving us, right, Crash?
Yep, that sounds good. This is Crash, and I'm over and out.
All right. Be kind to each other and try and not get too distracted. See you next time.